Three Little Words is not a bad film. I just watched it for the wrong reasons and was a little bit disappointed, so I will air my disappointment first and then get in with some actual thoughts and give the film the credit that it's due. Because it's not fair for me to be biased and say that I didn't enjoy it, because it was a good film. However, I only watched it because it's one of the Debbie Reynolds films that I hadn't seen, and I love Debbie Reynolds with a deep, deep passion. And I thought, well, obviously I have to see this. She wasn't top billed, but it is kind of currently being hailed as a Debbie Reynolds film, or at least in part. She's in it for 3 minutes at the most, and her character is the most irritating thing. She sings with this exceptionally annoying voice. It's not her singing voice, it's supposed to be humorous, and I don't know why I don't like this character. She's in it for 3 minutes, her character's called Helen, she sings with a squeak, and that's about it. This was one of her earliest roles. She was 16, 17 at the time of recording. She's very sweet in it, very cute, adorable, but annoying as hell. So that's a little bit of a letdown for me. However, the rest of the film was interesting. So this was released in 1950, and it was directed by Richard Thorpe, and the screenplay was by George Wells. And this is obviously starring Fred Astaire, who is fabulous, and I'll talk about the performances in a moment, but I have to say, his feat are just impossible. He's incredible. It's also starring Red Skelton, Vera-Ellen, and Arlene Dahl, as well as several other names, one of whom is Debbie Reynolds. And the description from IMDb is very brief, but I think quite accurate. The story of the successful Tin Pan Alley songwriting team of Bert Kalmar and Harry Ruby is told loosely and lightheartedly. First of all, I can't vouch for any kind of accuracy in this biopic. Well, maybe biopic's too strong of a word, but this biographical comedy musical, I can't vouch for any accuracy whatsoever. So if you do have any knowledge surrounding this subject matter, I'd be really interested to hear what you think of it. As for the narrative, there isn't really any narrative. It's very flat. I don't know if that was intentional. As it says, it tells the story very loosely, and I do think it is very loose. Obviously, the characters are going from A to B, and they have this mission, and this character wants to get engaged, and this character has hurt his knee, so he can't dance, and this character wants a new partner, and it's, things happen. But there's no real meaty, juicy narrative, or even an interesting narrative. But I don't really think, maybe at the time that would have been a problem. I don't know, the film seems to have done well for itself, but as a viewer now, I enjoy it because it's a film from the 50s, would have been made in 1949, I assume. So I enjoy watching it for the visual effects, for the visual quality, for the camera angles they're using, for the costumes, the performances, the mannerisms, because acting now is completely different to screen acting then, for the most part. And this certainly is the case here. What makes this film watchable and enjoyable is unfortunately not Debbie Reynolds' very squeaky song. It's Fred Astaire, I'll be honest with you. There are a lot of performances in this, and it's just wonderful. I love watching him dance. Whenever I watch him in a film, usually with Ginger Rogers, his feet just mesmerize me. He's incredible. There's just something about him, his feet, his face, he's quite lanky, and the way he moves his body around is just so captivating, and it's so easy to see why he became a very successful star for a very long time and will always be successful. It's absolutely fantastic. The film was nominated for an Oscar. It was nominated for the Best Music Scoring of a Musical Picture. I'm just going to very quickly check who actually did win that year, but it also won the Best Actor, Comedy or Musical Golden Globe Award, and that went to Fred Astaire, and I can completely see that. Debbie Reynolds was nominated for the Most Promising Newcomer. While I feel like she deserves every nomination she gets, unless it would have been a Razzie, that her performance was not much. There wasn't much to it. Nothing wrong with the actual performance in terms of her abilities, but it was fleeting and a little bit dull. So the musical, I'm just trying to find the best musical score for that year. It may well be a film that I haven't seen, in which case I should go and see it. And I am correct, it's a film that I haven't seen. Best music original song. The best music scoring of a musical picture, of course, Annie Get Your Gun. It went to Annie Get Your Gun. The other contenders were Cinderella, Fine and Dandy, I'll Get By, and then Three Little Words. Of course it went to Annie Get Your Gun. That's a fantastic film. It's great. But Three Little Words is interesting. It's nice. It's fun to watch now, 70 years later. To see how things have changed. It's very, easy to become absorbed in it in that sense. The narrative, as I said, is lacking. Debbie Reynolds is cute, but lacking. And Fred Astaire is brilliant. I recommend it for that reason, but if you're looking for a gripping or hilarious narrative, this isn't it. But I'd still say give it a go.